Did it work? Can y'all see me? I don't hear anything.
Well, you wouldn't hear them.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't hear them. They're on the chat. Can y'all hear me? That's the question. I've only ever done this once before. Oh, my goodness.
Y'all can talk. Y'all can listen to music. Just don't have it too loud.
Okay, good. Y'all see me and you hear me. Nana says hi, Joe. She can tell those are your fingers, apparently. Hey, everybody. Hey, William. Hey, Tracy. Hey, Mom. Hey, Evie. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't go live very often, so every time I do, it's a exercise in what can I remember. But let's do the welcoming stuff. So, welcome to my channel, Duck Potatoes World. My name is Katie, aka Mrs. Duck Potato, and this is episode 44 of my monthly YouTube vlog, Created to Create, where I share what I have been creating and chit chat with all of my friends and viewers. And I am so happy to be here with you guys. If this is your first time, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And it is live, so please chat in the chat. I will try to read them and talk to you guys as I go. So, first things first, as always, what I am wearing. I am wearing my Advent shawl for 2025. I did finish it and block it. I think I finished it on Christmas Day and blocked it like the next day. Hey, hello, Jennifer. Oh, under my Advent shawl, you can't see it very well, but the shirt that I'm wearing was my Christmas present from Jennifer. I wanted to wear this shirt for some of the Advent videos, but it was 80 degrees, like 75 to 80 degrees the whole 2 weeks before Christmas. So yeah, that didn't happen. But thank you for my shirt, Jennifer. It fits and I love it. All right. So I am eating my lunch while we go live because
I was late.
I don't know if you can hear my husband. He says he was late. He really wasn't late. He brought me flowers, so you can't be too mad at him, right? Thank you, honey. My kids and my family are excited about this live because they are excited that they can jump in and I can't edit them out. So anyway, I have notes. We're going to do all of my normal episode stuff, and then we will get to the cast on party at the end. So if you want to start by casting on already, that's fine. Go ahead and cast on something new. If you have something that you have in progress and you want to work on, that's fine. I think he's going to hit me with the fly swatter. Eventually, the novelty will wear off and they'll go do something else, I think.
Yep, bye-bye.
Anyway, my Advent shawl from 2025, the Intangential by Renee Stroats Designs. I made it out of scrap yarn. It was fun to make. I am actually really glad I made the large size because it drapes very nicely when I wear it. And I'm very happy with it. I am excited about it. Now, most of my finished objects for December, I don't have to show you. So the first one that I finished, thank you, Evie. You didn't expect that type of entertainment. You never know what to expect in Duck Potatoes World. It's crazy over here, y'all. So let's see. I did do several things in December. Some of them were things I finished, like the Intangential that I planned to finish, and some things were squirrels. So one of my squirrels was I made a Brit cowl by Kathleen Fuller for my grandmother last year for Christmas. And it was a crocheted version and she didn't care for it. It was too snug around her neck. So I made her another one randomly as I was wrapping her Christmas present. I went, oh, I bought yarn to make her another one. So I went and pulled the yarn and made it for her. I made it out of this yarn that I bought at Hot Springs Fiber Company. This is Juniper Moon Farm Beatrix. It is a bulky yarn. It is a merino wool, Angora, and nylon blend. And I don't have the cowl to show you because I literally sat down and stopped wrapping presents in the middle of wrapping presents, crocheted a cowl, put it in her present, finished wrapping presents, and gave it to her. So I can't show it to you, but it's the Brit cowl. You can look at it on Ravelry if you want to. I've worn it in some of the Advent videos. It was made out of that. So I don't have that to show you, but that was a finished object. And then we went to a Christmas party at the last minute, unplanned. We had originally not planned to go because I didn't think my husband would be off work in time, but then he was. So we went. And at like 2:00 that afternoon, I decided that for the white elephant gift, I would knit a Santa hat. So I knit the classic Santa hat by Erin Gates in Lion Brand Hometown, Tampa Spice, and New York White, which was yarn available at my local Walmart. And I knit it in a day. I started it around 2:00 in the afternoon, and I had it finished by the time the party was over. So the white elephant gift was actually just the yarn and some needles in a box with the pattern, and it was a do-it-yourself Santa hat. But then I to the wife of the one, the knitted the supplies because he actually knits, and he wanted to keep the supplies, but his wife wanted the hat, so I gave it to him. So I finished that, and I did finish my fall fun, which was my 2024 blanket of knowledge. So if you want to see that, that is has its own little video because I already gave that to my mother-in-law. She loves it. I love it. I was kind of sad to give it away. But I feel that way about everything I make, even when I make it on purpose to give to someone, even if it's like a baby sweater and there's no way I would ever fit in it and have no use for it. I just like, it's like giving away your baby for a hot second. It's a little hard sometimes. I also made 5 pairs of Christmas socks. I don't have any of those to show. They were made during the Mineola League of the Arts Holiday Bazaar, and they are off living their best life now, I hope. I did 4 pairs in gingerbread and 1 pair in elf, and I can't show you. Like I said, they're just on my sock machine, toe-up socks like you've seen me knit millions of times before. So I did do that in December. Let's see. Did I do anything else in December? Oh, I finished one thing that I do have to show you. It was kind of sort of creatively finished. Last month I had all the knit done, but I hadn't blocked it or sewn it together. So I have blocked it and sewn it together, and it's reversible. You can wear it either direction, whichever way you want. So there, I enjoyed making that. That was fun and pretty simple. And I did finish that, like finish. I called it finished last month, but now it's finished for real. Did any of you guys do that? Do you have things that you have to finish more than once? Like you finish the knitting and you feel done, but then you still have to go back and weave in ends and block it and seam it. And that's like a whole different category of finishing. All right. So that is my finished objects section of the episode. And then my unfinished objects section. This will be quite the, goodness, stay there. This will be quite the parade of whips because I have a lot of things that I'm carrying on into the new year. Let's see. So the first thing I will be carrying on into the new year are some socks that I probably just need to frog because this is now like the 3rd year they've been on the needles and I didn't knit a single stitch on them, I don't think, all year long. But I got all ready to frog them and then I just didn't want to frog them. So I didn't. So they're still sitting here on their double pointed needles. I had started these off as two at a time socks on circular needles, and then they have a weird pattern that was hard to do that way, so I moved them onto their own needles. Like I said, I haven't knit on them in a whole year, but I didn't want to frog them, so maybe they'll get done this year. Who knows? That is the Bubbles pattern by Emma Bermudez, and it's in Knit Picks, Stroll, Guppy, and Boo. There's the colorways. So there's the things behind me here. And then I have 3 sock tubes that I cranked out on my sock machine and was planning to make heels, toes, and cuffs for that I never got around to it. So I have this one here, which is the colorway is Brothers in Blue, and this is from Twisted. I wrote it down. Let me look. I thought I could remember, but apparently not. Twisted Owl Fiber Studios and their 2-ply sock. So I have this sock tube, and I have 2 different options for heels, toes, and cuffs. I have this, which I think is right in the Storm Out. And I can't remember the company that made this. That's the colorway. It came from Tennessee. And I have some blue, and I don't know. I don't think this is Hot Springs Fiber Company blue. It doesn't feel like her yarn. But anyway, I'm going to use one or both of these for heels, toes, and cuffs. Maybe this year if I get to it. These were kind of like things. I just cranked the tubes because I had my sock machine out and I haven't really done anything. So anyway, I have that sock tube. I have this sock tube, which is from It's the Jellyfish Jubilee, which was from Rising Tide Fiber Company. I did Sock Week with Nitty Natty. I don't know if that was last year or the year before. And then this was just what was left over. And I thought I could make a shorty pair of socks out of that. So I have that sock tube that needs heels, toes, and cuffs. And I have some Knit Picks stroll remnant that I could do my heels, toes, and cuffs in. Hey, Tonya. There's Antonia joining us. And then let's see what's in here. I think this is my third sock tube that I never finished. Yep. This is leftovers also that I made a pair of socks for. Oh, look, I got further along in here. I have at least toes on these socks. I must have done the toe on my sock machine. So I made a pair of socks for someone else and had leftovers. And apparently I knit toes and I just need to put heels and cuffs. So this is a little further on than I thought. This yarn is, I don't know how you, it's a Lang yarns. It's like jowl twin. I don't know how you say exactly. And I don't know what the colorway is, but some kind of rainbow. And then I have this as Knit Picks Stroll Sparkle that I was going to make parent toes. So that's some sock tubes that I made months ago and never actually finished. So I got to get around to doing that eventually. And let's see what else is a whip coming into 2026 with me this year. Oh, of course, the wedding peacock. That's down here. I've actually done quite a bit on this in the last week or so. I've probably done 2, 4, 6 or 8 rounds. I put in a new lifeline. So this is definitely the project for 2026. Like the thing I need to focus on and finish. But it is growing. It is slowly but surely. I am just starting the next set of peacock eyelets right there. So it's, even though these are the biggest needles cord I could find and it doesn't stretch out fully. So, but you can kind of see some of there's the first level of peacock eyelets. Here's the second level of peacock eyelets. And I'm starting the third here. And the fourth level of peacock eyelets is like offset in between. So it'll be like the fourth level. And then there's a fifth, I think. I think I'm at like 1,000 stitches right now. There's 30 sections of 35 stitches each. So you guys can do the math. I didn't pay the math budget. Your whip right now is cornbread. Hey, I'm going to go over next. You live next door, man. If I get hungry, that's where I'm going to head later. James is making the black eyed peas and the cornbread. Actually, we had cornbread. We went to a dance last night for New Year's Eve, and they had a ton of cornbread left over. So, you know, James and I never leave any party until it's done, and the people are like, leave. So they were like, here, take all this cornbread home to your kids. So I don't know if he's going to make fresh cornbread or if we're just going to eat the leftover from the dance last night. Oh, Joey's brought in a duck. Yes, we have ducks. The ducks started laying. This is Mr. Quackers, our drake. We have 1 drake and we have 5. I don't know what you call female ducks. Hens? Are they hens? They started laying 2 days before Christmas, and we've already gotten about 18 or 19 eggs from them since then. And I guess he wanted to show off the duck. So I have very few boundaries when it comes to pets. I draw the line at cockroaches and... Please don't let the duck get in my yarn. Please don't let the duck get in my yarn. I draw the line at cockroaches and scorpions because those are not pets. Those are vermin. Hi, Mr. Quackers. Please take him out of here before he poops on my stuff. He might, and that would be bad. Woo! All right. So there, y'all got to meet Mr. Quackers. Oh, he is a pretty guy. And the ducks, they are such a mess and they're a ton of work. So I'm really glad that they're Joey's project and I don't have to clean up after them. Because I'm sure if that was my job, we would be eating duck instead of having eggs. But they are really fun to watch. They're really pretty. And we got very lucky because we didn't have any idea what the gender of the ducks would be when we got them. Joe went and bought them. He saved up his money and he bought the ducks back on July 2nd. And we were only going to get like 3 or 4, but there were 6 ducks and he decided to get 5. And then he was like, well, we can't just leave 1 duck. So then we wound up with all 6 of them. Cooley says her family doesn't like the black eyed peas. So they make chili with beans. Well, that sounds good. I like chili. She's making cornbread now and going to make some rice and just finish sweeping up whip. Oh, no. I think she broke her baker. I think that's what she's saying. That's not good. The Oregon Ducks have a shout out. The Oregon Ducks have shut out our Red Raiders. Oh, that's not good. I guess we're getting our butts kicked. PEA. Hi, Duck. Anyway, y'all are funny. And you're not in your most. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cooley had to duck sit for a while. She said that wasn't her favorite pet sitting experience. Probably wasn't. Thank you for doing that. She did that while we were in Kentucky visiting the Ark. So we really appreciated you. Because, yeah, they have to be taken care of. They have to have their water changed every other day, minimal, really every day. They have to have their food cleaned up because they're messy. They just throw their food everywhere. And then once they throw it in the dirt, they don't eat it. So they waste a lot of food. And then they have James and Joe built them a little house to lay in and to keep warm. It has a little heater in it for when it's cold. So that has to be cleaned out. They're a lot of work, but they're cute. They are cute. All right. I'm not sure where I was when the ducks made their appearance. That's like, okay. So people always ask me what sorts of podcasts I watch. I watch a lot of different things on YouTube, but one of the things I enjoy are the Super Carlin brothers. They do a lot of fan theories. Most of their fan theories are Harry Potter related, which is what I watch. I don't watch the ones about other things, but they have a Harry Potter joke where they say you read the first line of every chapter and you say, then the dragons arrived, and it just makes things fun. So now I'm going to start saying, and then the ducks arrived. Then the ducks arrived. All right, let's see. WIPs. So I did covered the peacock veil, covered the sock tubes. Oh, I have my RCal with Kathleen Fuller. I don't always show these on the channel, but I do always show them on the read and crochet along videos. So if you guys are interested in crocheting along with us, I do have my RCal project that will be going on into the new year. I have a lot of granny squares at this point. I don't know, lost track how many, but yeah. So that's a very fun project where Kathleen Fuller takes one of her books and she designs a granny square inspired by the cover of her book. And every other month we have a video where we talk about the books and show off the squares. And then we try to read and crochet 6 books and 6 granny squares every other month. And it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing. You can do all of that or none of that or half of that or just crochet or just read or just do 1 or just do 3 or whatever. There's not a lot of rules, but I'm having a lot of fun with that. I'm just using Red Heart yarn. It was inexpensive and this was a long-term project, and Red Heart yarn, you can always get the same colors and you can always find it. It's not a big investment. So that's what I'm using for that. And that will be going on. So far, Kathleen's designed all of the granny squares, but I am going to be designing my first couple of granny squares. I think for the June books. I'll have to double check that, but sometime in the summer. Let's see what else. Oh, I have pulled out from hibernation my memory square blanket because my brain was dead after Christmas. And in between that veil, I needed something to like not have to think about a little bit. So I did the memory blanket by Georgie Nicholson. And I've been making this out of scraps. I started this way back in 2018 and I just add a little to it whenever I feel like it. This is like the top of it. Somewhere's the middle. There's a charm on the middle and I have all the squares kind of, yeah, there you go. So here's the middle of the blanket here and each quarter points toward the middle, if that makes any sense. So they're just mitered squares, I think is how you say that. Here's some of the ones I added. I did this one and 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 the red one and this blue one. Yeah, all of these here, this 3 in the row below, I have added in the last couple of weeks. So usually this gets a few squares on it every year. I've done as many as 20 or so, and then as few as like 0 or 1. So it just depends on the year. But I did pull that out of hibernation and work on that a little last week. Ugh. What else is going on into 2026 with me? This is a lot of WIPs, y'all. Let's see. I showed you the bubble socks. Oh, Oh, of course, my other 2024 blanket of knowledge, my campfire crochet block version. That is going with me. I have 9 blocks that are complete, and I haven't worked on this in a couple of months because I was focusing on the fall fun one to get it done for Christmas. But I do have all of this blanket that I'll be working on. So I've got 9 complete blocks. And this morning I dug around in all of my Hot Springs Fiber Company DK weight yarn stash and dug out a few extra things to throw in there. So this is actually part of Campfire. I'll have this block to do. And this was actually part of the Campfire colorway. I'll have that block to do. That's 10 and 11. And I think this one was 12. So I have this block to do. But since I was digging around in my DK scraps, not scraps, but DK hanks from Hot Springs Fiber Company, I found a couple more. I have this one I think I will make a square out of. This I think I'll make a square out of. It looks like it will match. This is leftover contrast from Cabin in the Woods. I think I'm going to make a square out of that to go in there. And this was leftover contrast from the Enchanted. I think I can make a square. So I think I'll have 16 squares in the end and make it just a little bit bigger. I have plenty of the contrast to seam it up. So yes, the memory blanket is a great project for scraps. I think I use about 4 grams per square. So as long as you have 4 grams, you can get it in there. And you could even, if you wanted to make the squares smaller, these are 20 by 20 stitch squares. But if you wanted to do like 10 by 10 and use just 2 grams, you could make like a postage stamp quilt scraps out of that. Let's see. And Evie also has 2 blankets of knowledge going into 2026 with her. So yeah, it happens. I know Kathleen Fuller has told me she's got a couple in there. Y'all, I'm gonna have to be rude and take a bite out of my sandwich because I'm starving. Luckily for you guys, you have to hear me chew, but you can't smell it because it's tuna. Okay, so that is all of my knitting and crochet projects. I also have 2 weaving projects that are not done that are on 2 different looms. I have my scarf in my Hot Springs Fiber Company yarn that I'm weaving on my loom, which is my 2-shaft floral loom. And I have a set of sampler towels where I'm just trying out different patterns on a 4-shaft loom at the Mineola League of the Arts. Yes, this is a Yarny channel. Welcome. Let's see. Lady Bird Loves. Welcome. I'm so glad you found us. Yes, this is mostly a Yarny channel. I do a little bit of weaving. I do a little bit of crochet. I do a lot of knitting. I have some homeschool related stuff. I try to keep everything in playlists that are clearly labeled. So if you don't want to watch my son, I don't know, recite a poem, you don't have to. But yeah, mostly yarn related. So welcome. It's nice to see you. I hope you find something that you enjoy. Are you a knitter, a weaver, a crocheter? What do you like to do? Yeah, I know the name Duck Potatoes World doesn't have any yarn related stuff to it. I had a hard time coming up with a name for my YouTube channel. I actually had a different name when I first started, and about a year in, I changed it to this, and it just kind of stuck. But I'm glad you found us. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, let's see. That's 8 whips coming from 2025 into 2026 with me. Jennifer is over there tooting my horn. Thank you, Jennifer. I love you too. Let's this month. The first things I got were my Hot Springs Fiber Company I got from the Black Friday sale. I got 5 hanks of yarn. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but the colors were speaking to me and they were on sale. So I bought them. So Lady Bird Loves is a crocheter. Awesome. Well, then you should definitely check out the Read and Crochet Along with Kathleen Fuller. So explore my channel after the live and you'll see all kinds of fun stuff I think that you might enjoy. I'm getting much better and more confident with my crochet for sure. Let's see. Yes, Mom, my mom is my biggest fan. I love her to death. She says we have fun no matter what we're doing. And that is quite true. We do all kinds of things. You never know. Sometimes we sing and make music. Sometimes we do, I don't know, just whatever. I try all kinds of things. I tried rug hooking recently. I guess I should have got my rug hooking. Hey, would you do me a favor? Hanging on the cowboy hat, there's an orange bag. Would you grab it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, so we joined the Mineola League of the Arts, which is, I guess, like a club. They have guilds. They have knitting and weaving and dimensional arts like wood burning and stained glass and pottery and all kinds of stuff. Graphite drawings, painting, writing, like all kinds of stuff. And my youngest son and I randomly decided to take a rug hooking class. So I can show you. I forgot about that project, but this is actually my son's rug hooking project. So he's making a coaster. I think I'm showing you the back. Let's show you the front. There we go. That looks more right. So that's his. He said he's done with his. He just has to learn to cut it out and finish it. And then this one is mine. I am not done with mine yet. But there we go. He got a lot further than I did. But yeah, that's been kind of a fun new thing to learn as well. She's okay. So Ladybird Loves is doing her own crochet along on the 5th. Oh, I'll have to check it out. I have no boundaries or very poor boundaries. Like I told you before, I might totally do another one. The reading crochet along is very laid back. We do 6 granny squares every 8 weeks. So you probably have time to do another one along with that one.
Your yarn also has no boundaries because it takes over the whole house.
I don't know if you can hear my oldest son, but he's saying my yarn is also having no boundaries because it takes over the whole house. He's a booger. Let's see. Evie's done rug hooking as a kid too. Yeah, I was surprised at how well we remembered it because we took the class, let's see, back in November, and then it was a whole month before the guild for rug hooking met again. And I was afraid I wouldn't remember anything, but we actually picked it back up pretty easily. Ooh, triangles. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. I don't think I've ever crocheted triangles. That sounds like fun. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to go check out your channel and see what you guys have got going on over there. Good. I'm so glad you found us. That's wonderful. Asher realized, yes, I homeschool all 4 of my boys. Asher is my senior in high school. And yes, he does realize I grade his papers, but that doesn't seem to be a worry of his. Not a deterrent, right? Got my Diet Coke in me. All right. I did acquire a little bit more yarn. I'm going to apologize for the crinkly plastic, but this yarn came all the way from Japan. So we have a college student that his family lives in Japan. So when he is here in Texas at college and they close the dorms, he stays with us a lot. Well, he went back and spent several months in Japan and came back and brought me yarn from Japan. So he brought me 3 different colors. And I think I have about 11 balls of a sport weight. It's like an acrylic and wool blend. It's very soft. But yeah, so he brought me all of this. I think it's called Baby Soft by Daruma. So that was kind of fun. So I'll have to think about what I want to make it. A whole bag of it. So plenty of it to make a nice shawl or something really pretty. I'm thinking maybe something with a little color work in it. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. So that is what I have acquired. And now is the fun part of the channel. I don't know how long we've been doing this for. Half an hour. That's all the normal stuff that we have to talk about. Now we get to cast on new things. So I did this last year. I cast on several new things. That's a good idea. I could knit him something out of what he brought me. That's a very good idea. I've knit him a few things. I made him some socks and a hat in the past. I'd have to see what he might like. That's a very good idea. See what he would like to have. He's very stylish. So I would have to consult him to make sure that I got something that he would actually wear and get good use out of. I don't mind knitting for other people. Love to do it. But I don't like to knit them something that they won't use. I want to make sure that that whatever I give him is something that he will enjoy. I used to not ask. I used to just knit things I thought people would enjoy. And I have learned I'm not a good guesser at what other people might like. Like people who wear the things I knit when they tell me what they want, I have given things that I thought they would like and they don't ever wear them. So I have to be careful. I'm not a good guesser. Even with my husband, when I've made him hats that weren't the ones he picked out, they're always his least favorite hats. So even though he's a great knit-worthy person who wears the things I make for him most of the time, quite willingly, I like to make sure that people get what they want. All right, so let's see. I am going to cast on 3 things. I picked out 3 things from my queue. So my Ravelry queue is this black hole where projects go. I don't want to say to die because they don't die, but they just get lost in space. I buy the yarn, I pick out the pattern and I buy it. I put it all in a bag and I'm like, oh, I can't start this right now for whatever reason. So it goes on my Ravelry queue and then it just sits there. Yes, Ewan is very kind. He brought back presents for everybody, not just me. He brought Judah a really cute Pokemon shirt. If Judah comes and walks over here, you'll see it. He's wearing it today. And he brought stuff. I mean, he brought something for everybody. He brought James some sake and some whiskey that was really, actually, we had a little bit of the whiskey last night. It was very good. Anyway, he came back with just loaded with presents for everybody. He was very, very sweet. Sorry, it's my Diet Coke, y'all. Once I start, I can't stop. But anyway, I was talking about my Ravelry queue. So I thought for my cast on this year, I feel like the theme for my knitting this year is going to be reduce, reuse, and recycle. Like I have had so much fun with my scrappy advent. I thought I'm going to dig deep down into my stash and pull 3 projects off my queue that I've been saying I'm going to make for years and years and years. And that's what I'm going to cast on. So this first one that I'm going to cast on, it is the Go Around Fair Isle hat. And these are leftovers from a baby blanket I knit my niece. Goodness, how long ago did I make that baby blanket? Let me see. I made it in 2019. So I have had this yarn since 2019. And I think as soon as I finished that baby blanket, I set this aside to make this hat and then never made the hat. So I am going to make this knit go around with my Karen Pantone X yarn that was left over from Haley's baby blanket. Yes, Jennifer cast on this baby blanket, Saturday? And she's convinced it's going to be really tiny, too tiny. I think that she is forgetting how tiny babies are. I think that might be more like what's happening there. I think it's going to be fine. I also think that sometimes things look smaller when you cast them on than they wind up being as you go. I feel like that's happened to me before. So let's see. How many stitches does this hat get cast on? Okay. My other niece. I have several nieces. I have Audrey and Haley and Salem. So I think this baby blanket that I made was one I made for Haley. And I did that back in 2019. You guys, I'm suddenly having a brain fart about how one casts on. There we go. Here it is. My first cast on of 2026. I hope somebody's casting on something with me. If you're casting on something right now, or if you have cast on something during the video, comment and tell us what you cast on. Oh. I see. I missed a comment from my mom. Yes. So I had made a baby blanket for my niece Salem when she was born, and she has loved a hole into it. Let me see if I can remember how to show you. I think I can. I'll show you this baby blanket. Here we go. So this is the baby blanket that I made for Haley back in 2019 that I'm using the leftovers on for this hat. And I will show you the baby blanket my mom is talking about. I made this blanket for Salem. So here she is loving on her blanket. I made it for her when she was born. Here she is when she was born, loving on her blanket. And this is the picture my sister sent me a couple of weeks ago of her baby blanket. And she asked if I could make another, which I can totally do, except that I've got that wedding veil going on and I just didn't want to commit. So my mom has graciously decided to knit version 2.0 for little Salem. Were y'all able to see all that good? Evie's finishing a late Christmas present. I had to do that too. Oh, I haven't seen the Sophie's Dream blanket. I'll have to look that one up. Oh, goodness. Good night, Lady Bird Loves. Yes, if you're in the UK, it is late for you. Yes. So mom is casting on, Amanda Gillum is casting on the baby blanket for Salem that I just showed you. Okay, I'm caught up. I missed some comments there. Oh, it was all a black screen. Did not see anything. No pic, black screen. Oh, that's terrible. I wonder why. Let me try it again. Select the tab to share. Share. Says it's sharing on my end. Can y'all see it now? It shows it's sharing where I'm. I don't know why it looks like it's sharing for mine and it's not for you guys. Oh, it's working now. Okay. Okay, good. So this is the blanket that my mom is casting on right now because I knit it for Salem, my niece, and she loved this giant hole in it. So here she is with it when she was born. I mean, she still has her little umbilical cord sticking on there. And here she was this summer. And this was the picture my sister sent me just a couple of weeks ago. And then while I'm showing it, I'll show you the blanket I knit for Haley. This is the one I knit for my niece Haley that I'm using the leftovers on to cast on with right now. There we go. Good. I'm glad y'all. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. I did something wrong. All right. Now I better get casting on. Yes. She Thank you, William. I guess you like the colors of Haley's baby blanket, the pinks and creams. I found those like a set of colors that Pantone made, and that was the color her nursery was in. So it just happened to match really well. But I didn't need the like this color's green. Like here, I don't know if you can see all the colors. The set had green and a dark red and the pink and the turquoise and the white. This was the set, but I only used the pinks and the white in the baby blanket, so I had all the green and turquoise left over. And I've done some other different things with some of the leftovers. I made some little baby dinosaurs from one of my nephews out of some of those leftovers, and I don't remember what else I've done, but yes. I don't think I ever got a picture. Did I get a picture of Haley with her blanket? No, I just have pictures of the finished blanket. Oh, I did use the turquoise as the border around the blanket. There you go. I've knit. That was a long time ago. I've slept since then. Yeah, it was called Strawberry Chill, but it didn't really make me think of strawberries so much as Christmas, actually. Oh, and while I'm thinking of you, William, I have a copy of that devotional book for you. So you need to send your address to the channel's email because I know you've sent it to me before, but I don't keep y'all's addresses. If you win something, I delete your address after I send it to you. But I have a copy of that devotion book to send you. I just need you to send your address. And I will get it in the mail to you next week. I know I don't have a shareable for you guys. I have not given up on shareables. I have some plans for shareables for you guys. So Don't despair. I do have some things to share. I just don't have them ready quite yet. I have some plans. Plans. Totally lost count about how many stitches this is, but it doesn't look like it's anywhere near enough yet. I don't think I made my tail long enough. I know Tracie's over there going, use a cabled cast on. I can hear her telling me instead of fussing with the tail. But I like the long tail cast on, even if it's finicky to get started with. I know, I'm counting. Give me just a second, y'all. Evie's over there seconding Tracie. I know, I'm stubborn. I know a better way, but for some reason I don't want to do it. I can do a cable cast on. It's a lovely cast on. It works fine. I don't know if it's just because this long tail cast on is like the first cast on I learned, and so it's just feels more right in my brain or something weird like that. If I have to cast on a whole lot, like 100 or 300, I'll definitely use either the knit or the cable cast on just because, you know, but for 64 stitches, it's not that big a deal to pull out 30 and do it again. So Mom's doing the Callahan cabled baby blanket. Evie's working on a headband. What else is everybody else working on? William, what are you knitting? Cooley's working on dinner. Antonia, are you knitting? Who else is there? Oh, I'll tell you, this is another reason I picked this particular pattern. Where it's talking about some of the weird YouTube videos that I watch that are not related to knitting. So I told you about the Super Carlin brothers and all the Harry Potter lore. I love to watch airplane related YouTube videos, which is really funny because, oh, William's knitting a pair of gloves from Ravelry, her pattern. Oh, fun. I'll have to look up that pattern. I haven't seen that one before. But I like to watch a lot of airplane related YouTube channels. So I watch 7-4 Gear, which has been a lot of fun. He just does a lot of commenting about different things, or he does ride-alongs and stuff like that. And then I like to watch Mentor Pilot and Mentor Now. So Mentor Now is like aviation-related news, and Mentor Pilot is like accident breakdowns, like what went wrong and what did we learn from this accident. And so I liked this pattern because it's called go around, and a go around in aviation is when you can't land. And so instead of trying to force a landing, you go around and you try again. It's like, you know, like a U-turn. Very neat ribbing. Oh, Antonia is outside working on a fence. Antonia and Tony have lots and lots of chickens. Oh, almost done here. 57. All right, there's my first cast on, y'all. Got my stitches cast on. I don't think I'm going to join it and work on it. I've got 2 more things I want to cast on. I think I'm just going to keep it to casting on this year. Oh, Antonia's going to cast on a Caldana tonight. She likes those. I like the gooey eye doctor videos. Ooh, are those like the pimple popper videos? I've seen some of the pimple popper videos. I have to look up gooey eye doctor. I don't think I've seen those yet. So let's see. For my next cast on, my second cast on of 2026, I am going to use this yarn. This yarn I've had for another deep stash dive here. I've had this yarn for a long time, and I've tried a couple of different projects, and I cannot for the life of me figure out what this yarn wants to be when it grows up. So I started off like a circular shawl with it at one point. That was going to be for my grandmother, and that never panned out, and I frogged it. I tried a different pattern top with it once, and it didn't work out either. So this is going to be, I think, the third attempt. This is Queensland Collection United Foursome in colorway Fraser Island. I got it at Sheep of the Wheel Yarn Company in Georgetown. I don't even think Sheep of the Wheel is open anymore. I got this back in 2018. And I am going to try knitting the Sideways pattern by Petra Breakstone. So I'm going to try to share my screen with you guys one more time. Y'all let me know if it blacks out on you, because it looks like it's showing up on me. Yes, William, I love Petra's patterns too, and I've had lots of good luck with them. So I'm hoping this will be the answer to what this yarn wants to be. But this is the pattern. It's the Sideways top, and the front is knit on a different number needle than the back. So that should be really cool. This is another one that goes with my 2026 theme of reduce, reuse, recycle, because you can use, one ball of yarn, but you can also make it out of scraps. She has a way in the pattern where you can make it out of scraps. So I thought this was passed on for today. Evie's done a couple of her patterns too. Mom's got several whips. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to cast on next. So I like to use the Row Counter app to do my digital patterns. I used to print everything. It was a big printer of everything. But over the last year, maybe 2 years, I've kind of switched to my Row Counter app because I don't have to have it, the physical pattern with me everywhere I go. It's on my phone because my phone is pretty much with me everywhere I go. So I have this one on my Row Counter app. And I will be making the largest size. I think it's the 5th size that she has. All right. So there we go. So this is going to be like 2 flat panels. That should be nice and simple. Maybe I will take Evie and Tracie's advice and do a cabled cast on. It's probably a good idea. So hopefully I have finally found the pattern that this yarn wants to be. Another Ello vest later. I've done the Ello vest too. I like that one. Mine was done in orange, and it's one of my favorites. I have a friend who's always wanting to borrow it from me. But since my yarn is not scraps, it's just color changing in a slow, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors, I think, here. So that should be interesting. I wonder how it will turn out with the pattern. Oh, well, fun. I'm glad that you found some inspiration. What color did you do yours in, William? Did you put the beads in yours? I put beads in mine along the bottom, which I liked and enjoyed, but I think it did change the way the shawl draped. You have to be careful. I learned from that. You have to be careful when you add beads. This feels like a really big needles for this tiny yarn, but I double checked and I'm doing what it says to do. So trust the process. I'm such a suspicious knitter. Is anybody else a suspicious knitter? I never believe the pattern's right, ever. I'm always like, eh. Oh, you guys, was I doing a knitted cast on or a cabled cast on? I just forgot. I don't know. Probably wouldn't matter if I just switched. I'm not that far in, but be consistent here. I'm going to do a knitted one because it's a little easier. There we go. Oh, you did he did turquoise and heather creams. Oh, I bet that was beautiful. And you did do the beads too. Well, there you go. Turquoise and heather cream. I bet that was pretty. There might be some turquoise in my next cast on. I tried to pick cast ons this year that also had different colors in them because I get bored if I have to do the same thing for too long with anything. Oh, you did it for your sister. I bet she did love it. The Knitting Cup in Georgetown closed too. Good gravy. That's terrible. It's happening to all our yarn shops, guys. We're going to have a slim pickings. When is my sister getting married? She is not until October of 2026. That is when the wedding is planned for. No, I didn't. Nobody asked that. So I have a lot of time. It seems like a lot of time. Yes, William, all the closing shops is terrible. There's been a couple others. So back in 2017, we had 2 shops in Tyler. We had Rose Path Weaving and we had Granny's Needle House, and both of them closed. The quilt shop in Tyler, she isn't closing, but she said she's not going to keep regular hours. That sounds like closing to me. Joann's closed, which is not the same thing as a local yarn store, I know, but I know a lot of people were big fans of Joann's. I actually didn't go there a whole lot, but I mean, I did on occasion, and that's definitely one less option that you have now. But yes, so my youngest sister is getting married in October of this year. I started her wedding veil last January. I'm maybe about a third of the way through it, so I definitely need to hightail it into gear if I'm going to get it done. I was hoping to have it done by like June-ish. I don't know why in my brain I wanted it done that early. I guess I wanted her to have it done in time to take it with her when she went dress shopping, but that didn't happen, obviously. So, but I've sent her lots of pictures and kept her updated. So and I sent her pictures of other people's finished versions with their wedding dresses, just so she had kind of an idea what it was going to kind of be like. It's going better. Like all this week, I've done better with it than I have done in the past. I haven't dropped any more stitches, or if I have, I was able to pick them up really easily. I haven't had to frog back 20 rows or anything like I did earlier. That was depressing. Oh, Evie finished her headband. Yay! Congratulations, Evie. I wish you guys could show pictures too. Maybe next year we should do this as a Zoom meeting instead of a live, and I could record it and then post it. What do you guys think of that idea? Then you guys could show what you're working on. Let's see. Now she's going to cast on a Ross hat using some air spun yarn in turquoise that she got at Hot Springs Fiber Company from Tracie. Already made a cabled cowl. Awesome. That sounds beautiful. I like this idea of doing next year's cast on party as a Zoom. And you would have to pre-register, and then I could send you the link and we could do a Zoom. And then I could record the Zoom and put the Zoom up on the channel. Tell me what you guys think of that. If that's something y'all would like to do. But then everybody could show off what they're working on together. It'd be really fun. We might have to do it instead of New Year's Day. We'd either have to do it in advance, or if we did it on New Year's Day, I wouldn't be able to post it probably the same day. I might have to post it the next day. But I did finish all of my cast-ons from New Year's Day last year, except for the wedding veil. Everything else I finished. All right, guys. It was cold this morning, and I was loving my shawl, but I'm getting a little warm. So hold on just a second. I am going to take my shawl off. I think my headphones make it a little warm as well. And I'm also going to have to put my readers on. I wore my contacts on purpose today so that if I needed my readers, I wouldn't have to put them on in front of my regular glasses. Because as much fun as I know y'all have making fun of me with wearing 2 pairs of glasses, I figured it'd be a little easier if I didn't have to. Look at there. My stitches have appeared. Evie says she doesn't even know how many whips she has. Well, be looking out, because sometime here in January, you'll see the State of the Knitter address. And one of the reasons I always do the State of the Knitter address is so that when I start the new year, I know what on earth I have. Because even though I try to keep a really good record on Ravelry, I don't always keep it totally up to date. So I can understand not knowing. Totally understandable. Whips are usually a thing I know, because I usually am real good about that. But stash, I try real hard to put everything in my stash as soon as I bring it home, but sometimes I forget. Or even if I put it in Ravelry, I don't remember where I put it in my house. So I have to go dig through all my hidey holes so I know where everything's at. One thing about weaving, since I have to have a ginormous piece of equipment, it definitely limits the number of whips and my ability to forget about stuff. I'm going to have to really focus on my project in the Mineola League of the Arts loom, because I've been on that loom for a long time, and I don't know what the rules are about how long you can hog a loom. As far as I know, nobody else is clamoring to use it. There are probably, my son says he doesn't think there are any rules, but I'm sure there are. There seem to always be rules about everything. All right. Do I have enough stitches to finish this one yet? Not quite. Ooh. Maybe I should change the name of my channel to DUCKpotatoe's Yardy World or something like that. Do you think that would help people know what my channel is mostly about a little better? Do you guys have any suggestions of? I don't really want to take duck potato out. I'm pretty attached to that part of the name, but could I add a word in there somewhere? DUCKpotatoe's Creative World. I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on that? DUCKpotatoe's Woolen World. Woolly World. The Woolly World of duck potato. What do y'all think? Brainstorming. Yes, if we did the Zoom meeting, we could we could talk and knit at the same time. Y'all wouldn't have to type. And then I wouldn't miss what y'all are saying either, because I would be hearing it instead of trying to look at the camera, look at the needles, look at the chat. Yarn or fiber added in would help. All right. Well, y'all help me brainstorm. What do y'all like? Duck Potatoes, Yarny World. Duck Potatoes World of Yarn. What about that? I like that. Then that keeps the Duck Potatoes World part the same, but just adds World of Yarn. World in yarn. Could change the preposition. This is how I think, you guys. And if y'all are not there for me to talk to, I just talk right on hope to nothing and think this way the same. I have kids walk in all the time going, "Are you talking to me?" And I'm like, "No, not particularly." Duck Potatoes World of Fiber. I kind of like that. Except for then you'll have people who think I like bran and oatmeal or something. Duck Potatoes World of Fiber Arts. What about that? Today's January 1st. It's a good day to initiate something like a name change, isn't it? I probably wouldn't change my little logo. I probably would just change the name on YouTube. Kind of like my logo the way it is. Or maybe just add the letters underneath, the extra words. All right. Oh, I'm 2 stitches short. I was close. What are you laughing at, Evie? That has a good ring to it. I don't know which one you think has a good ring to it because I said like 4 things. Duck Potatoes World of Fiber Arts. Is that the one you like? That's kind of the one I'm leaning toward at the moment. Duck Potatoes World of Fiber Arts. Your fiber reference, yeah. Oh, she's laughing at my fiber reference. Well, because if you go to the Texas State Fair and you go to the Food and Fiber Pavilion, that's what everybody thinks of. Food. Duck Potatoes Fiber World. That's what Tony likes. How about Duck Potatoes Wonderful World of Fiber Arts? Oh, I like that. That's fun. Wonderful World of Fiber Arts. Wonderful. I like adding the adjective in there. Duck Potatoes Wonderful World. I know the world's not always wonderful, but I like to keep it as wonderful as I can. All right. That's my second cast on, you guys. Moving through them. My third cast on. Let's take these glasses off. This is another, been in my queue forever. So way back in, let's see, Mom, when did we go to, she likes Duck Potatoes World of Fiber Arts. I like that too. I think I'm going to go with something along there. Duck Potatoes Wonderful World of Fiber Arts. I like that a lot. Anyway, Mom and I went to, Indianapolis, Indiana, several years ago, to go to the Gospel Coalition Women's Conference that they were holding there. And in true Mom and Katie fashion, we just randomly decided to walk to a yarn store that was, I don't know how many miles away. I don't think it was that far. It was less than 3 miles away. I think it was maybe like 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. So we decided to walk to this yarn store. We decided to Uber back to the conference. After we walked to the yarn store, we were like, I don't want to walk back. But anyway, while we were there, I saw my first Stephen West shawl. I saw, it wasn't the Doodler. That wasn't the one I saw. I cannot now remember what the name of the shawl was, but it was my introduction to Stephen West. They had this sample there that was just amazing. And I came back and I wanted to do a Stephen West shawl, and I had pulled up the doodler. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys one more time. See if I think it works better if I just give it a couple of seconds to catch up with the internet peoples. So hopefully you guys can see that. This is the Stephen West shawl, the doodler. It has been on my to-do list ever since then. That was like back in 2017, 2018, somewhere back there. So I have had yarn set aside for this forever, and I think I am going to cast on this one for my third and final New Year's Day cast on. I think 3 is enough, considering we just established I have 8 whips. So 3 new whips is probably plenty. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to cast on next. I wound all of that yarn this morning onto my Winderful system. And I was so lazy. I had some US 5s already sitting out. And I was like, the pattern I think calls for 4s. And so I sat there lazy me and debated, do I want to switch out the 5s for 4s, or do I just want to use the 5s? Isn't that really funny? It would have taken 2 footsteps to go and get my needles to switch from 4s to 5s. World of Fiber Arts. That seems to be popular. Duckpotatoe's World of Fiber Arts. Y'all are convincing me. I think at the end of this live stream, my channel's name might officially be changed to Duckpotatoe's World of Fiber Arts. And thank you very much. I know she's already left for now, but she may watch the rest of it later. To Ladybird Loves for inspiring me to think through that and make a change. Kind of motivating me. Sometimes I need to be motivated to do something. All right. I got to remember which one I have 3 colors picked out for this shawl. So I showed y'all the picture. The part that's pink in the picture of the doodler. Wonderful World of Fiber. Yeah, I kind of like the wonderful in there. But I see your point, Edie. I like keeping the Duckpotatoe's World kind of the same. Maybe I'll just call it Duckpotatoe's World of Fiber Arts, and then for like just the naming convention officially, but we can just all call it Wonderful. I don't know if that would work or not. Anyway, this is going to be the part of the shawl that was pink. This is going to be the part of the shawl that was yellow. And this is going to be the lighter fill-in part of the shawl. So I don't even get all of those. These are the 3 colors I'm going to do. And this will be my last cast on for today. And then I will probably say goodbye to you all. Thank you when I finish this cast on. But don't worry, it's going to take me a few minutes to finish the cast on. For sure. For sure and certain. Let's see. Color A. Trying to figure out the hardest thing about a Stephen West shawl for me is trying to figure out which of his colors is which. So there's 3 colors, right? A, B, and C. It says A is seed, B is pollen, C is taupe. Those color descriptions are not telling me which one's the pink, which one's the yellow, and which one's the white. It's not helping me. I think taupe must have been the pink. So that's my orange. That makes my orange C. And I'm guessing the yellow must be pollen. So that makes my blue B. And A is seed? I don't know. I wonder if it's the other way around. Might have to look it up somewhere. Using A. I should have done this probably before I figured out what color was what before we got here, huh? He did his in hedgehog fibers. I like hedgehog fibers. See if I can figure out which color is this. Put the wonderful Duck Potatoes World of Wonderful Fiberides. Ooh, I like that idea. As a nurse, you always have to explain when you go to a fiber festival. I bet you do. That was in 2018. Yes, William. The fiber has always got to be explained. Oh, dear. You know, one day I'm just going to be like, yeah, you know, like bran and prunes. You don't go to festivals about, you know, high fiber content foods? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. What would be the best way to come up with the answer here? Not helpful. I don't want to cast on with the wrong color, you guys. I'm not even sure what the cast on edge is, but I think it might be the yellow edge. He likes to start things with kind of like a garter tab. Maybe I should start with my turquoise and call it good. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm reading what y'all said. I bet. William thinks that marketers for porta potties go to that kind of fiber conference. Oh my goodness. Yes, William's suggestion keeps me from having to decide. It keeps the wonderful, but also keeps the Duck Potatoes world unbroken. I think you're right, Evie. I think that's probably where we need to go. All right. Well, okay, making progress. Colorways. My goodness, they have a lot of colorways. I love options, but sometimes they can be a little overwhelming. Here we go. Okay, so the seed colorway was that one in the whitish middle. That's the A. Okay, glad I looked it up because I would have guessed wrong. So this is my A. All right, this is Video Baby. I think it's a Madeline Tosh. Mom and I bought these when we were together, I think at the... Oh, you can't hear me. You can't hear me. You can't hear me. You can't hear me. Nobody can hear me. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No. Huh. How about now? No, no, no.